Hi. Today, in our Feng Shui Bagua vision board journey, we're going to be looking at the section that relates to children and projects. Now, why does it relate to those two things? If you think about it, when you're progressing a project, you might refer to it, or other people might refer to it, as your baby. So the fortunate blessings is the process of growing a baby, and what we're going to talk about today is the process of nurturing, nourishing, and making a success of your baby. So the metaphor here is metal, but it's metal like jewellery. It's soft, it's not sword, it's like your favourite jewellery. You'll notice I never wear jewellery, except very occasionally when I have one or two fun things that I might put on. But yes, I mean, children and projects should be the jewel in your lives. And the way that we talk about these things, we talk about the jewel of, dare I mention it, the British Empire, and the jewel in the crown, and the jewel of the family, and the jewel of this, and the jewel of that. So the kind of metal we talk about here is decorative, but you have to dig deep in order to make it, and it requires a bit of smelting as well. So that too, it's work to produce well-balanced, successful children, and it's also work to produce projects that actually do what they're supposed to, have the outcomes that they're supposed to have, and make everybody happy rather than, the happy outcomes. So at this point in the vision board, you might think about an affirmation about what you want the outcome to be. So I have one that I put on my vision board. You might be interested in it if you can see it. So this section of the Bagua vision board also applies to creativity and creative solutions, and I know that from my own experience that both with children and with projects there's a time when the children are kind of teenagers and maybe you're having to let go a little bit, and there can be some interesting challenges going on there. And there's usually a part in a project where you get to a stage where a lot of things have to be crashed. So, and creative solutions need to be found in order to continue the smooth running of the project. So, that's what we're going to address with this tapping. Tap with me. Even though this situation is challenging, and there doesn't seem to be anything that I can do about it, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, or at least I want to. Even though this situation is really challenging, there's a lot of emotion in it, and not much of it is positive, and I really don't know what to do. There seems so few choices, and maybe I've painted myself into a corner. But I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway, or at least I'm open to, even though there doesn't seem to be any way through this difficult time. So much negative emotion, so much anger and upset and grief and resentment. I really don't know what to do with it all, and it's not just me. I'm doing my best here and nobody appreciates me. I deeply and completely love and accept myself, or at least I'm open to. So much negative emotion swirling round. So much negative emotion swirling round. And I know that some of it's mine. There's so much unreasonableness. I just wish that everybody would calm down and be reasonable. But the truth is, that is just not going to happen. And I am right about that. This is all incredibly unreasonable. And I'm doing my best here. And nobody appreciates me, or that I'm doing my best. And I'm right about that. And I feel so resentful. And I'm right to feel resentful. I've got a lot to feel resentful about. Yep, I feel resentful. I wish everybody would just calm down and work together. Oh, cooperation would be great. A little bit of seeing other people's points of view. My point of view. Yeah, they should see my point of view on this. I'm right about them seeing my point of view. So much negative emotion swirling around. So much resentment. And heartbreak. And upset. I don't like this any more than they do. I'm certainly open, or willing to be open, to finding a way through this. Take a deep breath. Now that round will pretty much apply to, I forgot to take a measurement, we'll do that in a minute. It'll pretty much apply to either a teenage situation or a project situation. So I'm trying to make it as applicable as possible. Now, because I forgot to take a measurement, let's say that the spike, the emotional spike on this was right up at a 10 to begin with, on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being, what's your problem, everybody's fine, and 10 being, oh God, this is just awful and I'm thinking of leaving. So we'll keep doing that round until you get to about a 4 or 5. You can get lower if you like. That would be even better. But it might take, 1 or 2 rings doing that. And now let's go on to the next one, to put in the more positive. Now people ask me why it is that I focus on the negative first, but as I explained in a different video earlier on in the Feng Shui Bagua Vision Board series, this is, you can't make any progress unless you recognize and acknowledge that there is something going on. If you kind of push it aside or push it down, it becomes the elephant in the room that everybody's quietly stepping around and everybody's in denial about it. So what we're doing here is we're acknowledging it and letting it go. And that's really important in order to be able to improve the situation, because once your energy in this situation is flowing properly, then you can focus your energy on bringing in something a lot more positive, often very surprising. Okay, so now let's go on to the positive. Even though the situation is still difficult, and people do feel emotional about it, including me, I'm open to finding creative solutions that everyone can accept. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself, or at least I want to. Even though this situation is still quite challenging, I am willing to take a step back, see the bigger picture, and find or create a solution that everybody can accept. And it would be even better if they're happy with it. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself, or at least I'm open to it. Even though this situation is challenging. And everybody knows it. And they're all pulling in different directions. I'm open to finding a creative solution that everyone can accept. And it'll be great if they're happy with it. And I deeply and completely, even in this situation, love and accept myself, or at least I'm open to it. Yes, this is a challenging situation. I know that there must be some kind of creative solution that we can all come up with if we put our heads together. I can ask people what it is that they want and coach them, past that first I want things to stay the same, and find out what their true vision for the outcome is. And mostly they just want to be happy and feel secure, and I can accept that. Because that's what I want too. Happiness and security. I wonder what form that would take for everyone else. I wonder if I can coax them to tell me how they could feel happy and secure in this situation. What that would look like. That's a great idea. That lets everyone know that they're being heard. That they have input. That they're not powerless. And that too is what people want. They want to be heard. They want to feel they have some control over their lives. That's what I want too. I can listen and collect information about what people really want, what will make them feel happy, secure. And that's a foundation that I think we can all work with. I'm certainly happy to listen to others and to work together with them. Deep breath. Yes, I keep tension in my shoulders. Now, do you see how that's not a plan for the outcome? It's a plan to help people cooperate, to reduce the emotional charge in everybody else as well. Because when there's a challenging situation, we all get a bit defensive, just, and that can get in the way of listening, being heard. So that's the kind of approach that might be useful for you. And, if you're finding all of this quite intriguing, and think we might be a good fit to work together, please, there's a link to my website, to my contact details in the description somewhere. Just click, and I'll look forward to chatting with you. So tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is knowledge and personal development. So I'll see you then. Bye.